Sri Lanka Morning Show. Ayubowan.
Sunday, the 27th of November, was a very special day for the Sri Lanka Morning Show. It marked the production and telecast of the historic 1000th episode of the Sri Lanka Morning Show, telecast on Channel 31. I'm sure you'll agree with me that it is a remarkable achievement indeed. Our thanks and congratulations to the director of the program, Nimal Alvis, and his charming wife Sugita, who have tirelessly worked to make this a reality. Today, we take a look at the celebration that was held to mark the occasion, very specially organized and hosted by Professor Tissa Wijeratne, the medical director of the Australian Institute of Migraine, and Dr. Dilani Wijeratne, conducted at the premises of AIM. So we are happy to share with you the celebration marking the historic 1000th episode of the Sri Lanka Morning Show.
I am your MC, Chanit, editor for the Migraine Foundation Australia, and I'd like to warmly welcome you all for this fabulous event. First, I'd like to invite Professor Tissa Wijeratne, director of AIM, the Australian Institute of Migraine.
Thank you, Chanit. What a wonderful occasion. Doing 1,000 programs, that's 1,000 hours as a migrant media person to a migrant community in a country like Australia is no easy task. So we are delighted and honored to be able to celebrate this massive event from Australian Institute of Migraine, Melbourne, Australia today. Mr. Nimal Alvis and Mrs. Sugita Alvis, you two have done tremendous contribution to the culturally and linguistically diverse communities in this nation. I have been a migrant academic for almost 20 years, and I know how hard it is for any migrant in any field to establish themselves. Bringing that culture and some sort of a sense of ownership is critically important for people to deliver what they wanted to deliver as Homo sapiens or human beings, so that we can continue to promote humanity. So this is a worthy cause to celebrate. So let's invite the key heroes of this event. If I can have Mr. Nimal Alvis and Mrs. Sugita Alvis to the podium to cut the cake so that we can celebrate this event.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause.
It is my pleasure also to recognize the contribution with some awards. The Mr. Nimal Alvis, we have some plaque to hand over to you as a token of appreciation.
Thank you.
And I will now invite the Chief Executive Officer of Australian Institute of Migraine, Dr. Mrs. Dilani Wijeratne, to come to the podium and hand over another plaque for Mrs. Sugita Alvis, because she is the unsung hero behind this massive effort. I will also invite Dr. Sam to hand over some flowers to both of them in recognition of these contributions.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I will now invite the Mr. Vijay Karunasen and Mrs. Himali Karunasen, both of them, to come on behalf of Victorian Language of School to recognize the Mr. Nimal Alvis and Mrs. Sugita Alvis for this contribution.
Thank you.
I'd just like to invite Mr. Vasanta Pereira to talk on behalf of SCATS Australia.
Good morning. Thanks for inviting me from the community side. Actually, I represent Sri Lankan Study Centre for Advancement of Technology and social welfare, which everyone calls as CATS Australia. Now we are in the 30th year. Actually, we just had the anniversary a couple of weeks ago, and some of you actually were in that occasion as well. So on behalf of Sri Lankan Study Centre, I'd like to appreciate Nimal's and Sugita's service to community. Especially, we used to run to them to get help whenever we have a community project to locals or to Sri Lanka. So we really, it's really a privilege to be here today and acknowledge the Thousands program, because Thousands episode, because that actually did a lot to our community, and we cannot really have some words to explain that. And so this event, thanks Professor Tissa for organizing it, and I think we all should recognize the efforts that Nimal and Sugita had and to help our communities throughout. Thank you very much, and all the very best for your next Thousands program. Thank you.
Thank you again. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Vijay Karanasena and Himali Karanasena to say a few words.
Thank you. Celebrating the 1000th episode of Sri Lanka Morning Show on Channel 31 is a significant milestone to celebrate, not only for the show and for Nimal and Sugita. It's also a significant milestone for the Sri Lankan media in Australia and also for the community. The experience that Nimal had in Sri Lanka, working at Rupawahini Corporation from the beginning, and his knowledge he brought into Australia and started this program many years ago. And he learned smart ways to do the program, because in Sri Lanka, when he produced the programs, there were many people around him to assist him, a team of people, technical and non-technical. But in Australia, he had to do everything by himself, sometimes operating 3 cameras by himself. But he learned the way how to do all these things up to the right standard and the quality with smart ways of doing things. I think you have to write a book about that. And we talk about 1 hour program on the Sunday premium time at 10 o'clock. But behind that, there is a huge amount of time that he has to spend recording, editing, and then a lot of other works to make the program for the final show. And also, he has made a lot of contribution to the community, providing a lot of information, knowledge, entertainment, and actually helping out to showcase the new talents. Himali, would you please tell something about that, the talents that he has contributed to improve the talents?
Yes, thank you, Vijay. Congratulations, Nimal. And yes, I can really tell how much, because as a kids program coordinator, I know how much the kids and the parents really enjoyed and valued the program. Nimal, it gave them a real opportunity to showcase their talents. So thank you very much. And now we have so many programs, but those days Channel 31 is the only program. So thank you very much. You've done a great service to our community. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd just like to invite Mrs. Norleen Hunter to share her thoughts as well.
Thank you so much. Well, I know that our computer has restricted us to 90 seconds. So I don't think I can actually tell so much about Nimal in the 90 seconds, because he has achieved so much. Whereas not only in Sri Lanka, but in Australia as well. I'll just begin with how he began his broadcasting career. I think he and I worked together at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, then at ITN, which was the very first television channel in Sri Lanka, and before that at the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation as well. And he has brought his experience and his expertise to Australia, and he's really done a very good job together with his charming wife, Sugita. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. And let me quickly tell you a few things that he's been doing. Actually, this is the 1000th episode, but as this gentleman before me said, 1000th episode, it's a 1-hour program, but it has so many little other segments in that. So actually, I think he does about maybe about 7 or 8 segments in that program. So in fact, it's not only the 1000th episode, but I think it might be the 8000th program he's been doing. So I think he really is doing a very good job. And as I said, he's brought his expertise and his experience to this project. And he began his career here in Australia, I know, at the Swinburne University, at the studio where I was also there. I just did a few programs. And then we did the Sri Lanka News Weekly together. I did the program in Sri Lanka, and then we telecast it here. We sent it across on on internet. So we've been doing quite a bit of stuff together, and that's not all. He actually gets so many people involved, visitors to Australia, VIPs, politicians, entertainers, everyone who comes to Australia, they look out for and they look forward to performing and being interviewed on Channel 31 on the Sri Lanka Morning Show. So I don't think I have much time, but let me quickly tell you that they also won awards. The Antenna Awards, which are the awards that are they are the awards that are given to Channel 31, artists on Channel 31, producers on Channel 31, and Nimal won 2 awards on that. So it's not just just producing the program. He has been recognized for it as well. So I don't think I have much time anyway. So I'd like to congratulate Nimal for the work he's doing, and I know that he'll be doing more than this. He'll be doing thousands and thousands of programs ahead. So congratulations, Nimal and Sugita. All the very best to you. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. We're now happy to feature a brief greeting to the Sri Lanka Morning Show from my friend and colleague, who most of you will know, I'm sure, Indunil Dissanayake, a very popular television presenter and broadcaster from Sri Lanka. Here's Indunil.
ගෙවිලිගේ සොඳුරු අතීතයේ අපූර්ව මතකයන් එක්ක ගත කළ විනාඩි කිහිපයක් හැටියට අද දවසේ මේ විනාඩි කිහිපය හඳුන්වා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ තමයි Channel 31 හරහා ශ්‍රී ලංකා Morning Show සහස් පියවර තිබුණා. එහෙම නැත්නම් දහස් පියවරක් තිබුණු මොහොතේ මුලින්ම ඔබ සැමටම සුබ පැතුම් එකතු කරනවා. දහස් වාරයක් වැඩසටහන ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා කියන එක ලිහිසි පහසු නෑ. මේ සිතුවිලි අයිතිකරු ඔබ හොඳින් හඳුනන ලංකාවේ ටෙලිවිෂනයේ ආරම්භක සමාජිකයෙක් නිමල් අලුවිස්, ඒ වගේම සුගිත අලුවිස් එකට එකතු වෙලා උන් දෙන්නාගේ හිතේ ඇතිවෙච්ච සිතුවිල්ලක් තමයි මේ දහස් වාරයක් පුරා යථාර්ථයක් බවට පත් වුණේ. ඒ සඳහා සහයෝගය ලබා දුන් හැමෝටම ස්තුතිවන්ත වන අතර ඔතන ඔය උත්සවයට සහභාගී වෙන්න ලැබුණා නම් හරි සතුටක්. ඒ මොකද ලෝභකමක් දුකක් දැනෙනවා. ඒ අවස්ථාවට සහභාගී වන්නට නොලැබීම ගැන. නමුත් නිමල් සුගිත ඔබ ගැන අපි ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයින් හැටියට හරි ආඩම්බර වෙනවා. හේතුව අපේකම අපේ දේ ලෝකෙට ගෙන යන්න ඔබ දෙදෙනා දරන උත්සාහයට. එවනම් සුබ පැතුම් නැවතත් එකතු කරනවා. සිය දෙවියන්ගේ ආශිර්වාදය ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. මේ ස්වර්ණමය මතකයන් එක්ක තව චිරාත් කාලයක් ශ්‍රී ලංකා Morning Show එකට ගෙන යන්නට ඔබ දෙපළට සිද්ධාන්තම දිව්‍ය ශක්තිය ආශිර්වාදය ලැබේවා කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා.
You're watching the celebration of the 1000th episode of the Sri Lanka Morning Show on Channel 31, which was a memorable occasion. We will return to that celebration right after this commercial break.
Abacus Solar, latest and reliable solar systems, world best panels and inverters, price beat guarantee, supervised system installation, excellent after sales service. Call 1300 852 843.
Rosewood Downs Excellence in Aged Care, a modern purpose-built home available in single and double rooms with ensuite and telephone in every room. Contact Ruben and Christine on 9701 3234.
Sanji Caldera Associates. With our headquarters based in Melbourne, Australia, you can locate our branch offices in Sri Lanka, Dubai, Canada and London, UK. Some of our services include skilled migration visa, family migration visa, employer sponsorship visa, temporary resident visa, business visa, tourist visa, student visa, administrative appeals tribunal review. Pursuit of excellence through tailored solutions.
The science of life, traditionally known as the Ayurveda. Consultations, diagnosis and treatments are done by fully qualified Ayurvedic practitioner Dr. Sam Dasanay. Sahandro Ayurvedic Centre, best wellness experience.
News Weekly is brought to you by Esden, the horse specialist. Esden Plastics Private Limited, 525 to 527 Hammond Road, Dandenong South.
As regular viewers of the Sri Lanka Morning Show, I'm sure that you're familiar with the format of the program where we generally telecast the news at this point. Today, however, we've changed that format to mark this special occasion and we have postponed the telecast of the news. We assure you that the news will be resumed next week. But today, to celebrate the telecast of the historic 1000th episode of the Sri Lanka Morning Show on Channel 31, we share the continuation of the celebration. Enjoy.
I'd just like to open the mic to anyone else who has a few words to say. So again,
I might say quickly before you start. Hello everyone. I'm really happy that we all come here today to celebrate. But first thing I want to thanks Professor Tissa Wijeratne. He's done a marvelous job. I didn't expect him to do it. So thank you very much for doing this. While he was in studio, we were discussing his interviews on 1000 program. He said, we have to celebrate. I said, we are not going to celebrate. We have work to do. No, I'm going to do it. You don't worry. So thank you very much for doing this event. And also I want to thank all the presenters here, Nolan, Derek, thank you. They are the very committed CEO, they are committed, my presenter, they are always helping us. And then my sponsors, we can't do anything without the sponsors. So they're all helping us from the day one, like the inception of the program. We have good sponsors, they are all friends, and they are helping us well. Finally, I want to say thank you to my wife and my two daughters. They are always helping. I don't know how long we can do this, but they are helping as well. My wife is a presenter, backup presenter, news reader, and also helping make up everything. So I can't do without them actually. So even now, my daughter is doing the maybe camera. So always the case. So thank you very much. Thank you for everybody. And we'll open the microphone to say a few feedback. Maybe Derek can start. Thank you.
We got only 90 seconds. I'm going to time it now. I got to tell you that we started off very small. Originally, we used to record at Swinburne Tech. And around about 9 o'clock, the security guard comes in and says, you got to finish the program. So one fine day, I told Nimal, we don't want this. Can we have our own studios? So we bought our own cameras and built a beautiful studio. Anyone who walks in, they say, oh, wow, what a nice studio. And ever since I had the privilege to interview from prime ministers to actors to you name it, they came on the program and they got very good exposure being on our program. And as Noelin said, for Sri Lankan Morning Show to achieve 2 awards, it's an honor, considering they got all different nationalities. And when our Sri Lankan Morning Show was we got the antenna award, I just couldn't believe myself that we have been recognized as one of the top shows with 31. Having said that, I got to also thank Sugita. At the start, she was very shy. She never came on camera or anything. She was always on the background and helping Nimal. But nowadays, sometimes she does the news and she still keeps the program alive. And also, I take the opportunity to thank all the sponsors over the years who has helped us to keep our show alive. And we still, if you want to be on the program, please give Nimal a ring. And if you want any interviews, he's always there to help you guys. And finally, I want all of you to give Nimal and Sugita a big round of applause for doing such a great job.
Thank you, Louis.
Sugita, you want to say a few words?
Yes, why not? Okay, firstly, I just want to say a big thank you to Professor Tissa Wijeratna and Dilani Wijeratna organizing such a beautiful event. I think this is all our very close, beautiful friends here, always with the Nimal behind. And you can see the cake. I just want to thank Charmaine and Jerome. This is actually gifted, this cake. And Dammi, Ruan and Sioda, they bought the cupcakes. And more cupcakes from Tissa and Dilani, and more foods there. But yes, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone always behind us. Nimal always is working very hard. Sometimes 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, he's doing the program. I think this is a good achievement, I believe. Then I wish him to do more programs. That's all. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of day. Thank you.
Let me invite a couple of youngsters to share their thoughts. Let's have Dr. Sumudu Pereira and Sioda both to the podium. Come and share your experience, what this program meant to you.
Well, I started my involvement with the Sri Lankan Morning Show when I was 9 years old. When I was 9 years old. And for that, I'm beyond grateful to Nimal Uncle and Sugita Auntie, because I think it brought a lot of representation to young children my age. And I was very fortunate to be able to communicate and engage with other young children in our community. And it has been such a rewarding experience. So I'm very grateful, and congratulations for the 1,000th episode. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Sumudu. I want to speak also from more of a sideline aspect as well. I think I still remember growing up as a child, every morning, Sunday morning, seeing the show, and it's just amazing to see how far it's gone. And big congratulations for the 1,000th episode. I still remember, for example, my sister being involved in that children's episode from young childhood work, and work together with both of you two as well. So big congratulations. Hope to see the show go on for another 1,000 more episodes. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming. And just very briefly, I should mention, it's been many years ago that I was invited by Nimal and Sugita to come on board. And since then, we have grown. And it is a respect to this great gentleman over here. Why? Is because this program is a very useful, rich source of information, and it is made in a quality way that we know how much effort goes from Nimal and Sugita, because every time Nimal speaks to me just before the program, he says, "Apita me කාලෝචිත අවශ්‍ය මේ සමාජයට අවශ්‍ය දෙයක් මොකක්ද ඊළඟට කරන්නේ." So these were the always the mantra of Nimal. දැන් මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? මේ කොවිඩ් එකට අවශ්‍ය මොකද්ද? මොනවද ගෙදර හදාගත හැකි අත්බෙහෙත්? කොහොමද අපේ මනස සංසුන්ව තියාගන්නේ? So it's been a journey. It's been a journey that bind all of us together. Why? Because it comes from the heart. we are like a family, working together. And I know, just like the distinguished speakers spoke before me, it needs a lot of work. So many segments putting together, managing the time. I have seen Nimal working tirelessly. So it has paid off. It has brought the community together, and people still value this program. People call me when they want to make an appointment and say, අහවල් දවසේ කරපු program එකේ සම්බන්ධ රෝගියෙක් තමයි මම. So it brings immense amount of pleasure to me. Thank you, and thank you Nimal, thank you Sugita, and as it says more eloquently, භාර්යාවගේ සහයෝගය අවශ්‍යයි. ඉතින් අපි හැමෝම මේක දන්නවා ප්‍රැක්ටිකලි. ඉතින් මේක හොඳ උදාහරණයක්. ඔබට මේ කටයුත්ත ඉදිරියටත් ගෙනියන්න දීර්ඝායුෂ යෝධ බල ශක්තිය ලැබේවා කියලා මම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. And sponsoring this event, Professor, you and all the loving and kind, generous, good-hearted people who are here, thank you very much for spending your time here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tissa, and I have not met your wife for inviting me. My association with Nimal has been fairly recent when I got an invitation to come and talk about migration matters. I need to tell you that I was a viewer of your program for many, many years. Now, if my calculation is right, 1,000 divided by 52, that's more than 20 years, where we didn't have internets and we didn't have all this Facebook and all that. It's a great initiative, Nimal and Sugita, to bring the Sri Lankan community together. I think we used to huddle around the TV to find out what's happening, and we have come to a foreign country and the first generation, whoever the first generation migrants who are here. So this was the only source to find out what's happening, and I believe this is a great initiative and something to do on your own and stick to it for many years. I've lost words. Congratulations to you, Nimal and Sugita. And one other thing is, whenever I come for a program, I never get prepared. I think about the program whilst in the car, and that warm cup of tea and that biscuit of Sugita helps me to think what I'm going to talk about. Yeah. Thank you very much for allowing me a part of your program. All the best.
I might invite someone else who is not prepared to talk. The history of media work goes far back. Noeline had a little bit of introduction of that. And that can impact many people that you never believe that it would impact upon. Because the Chanit has banned talking, I won't go into those details. But let me invite Mr. Vijayaratna to come to the podium and share some of his thoughts from those old days where he shared some memories with Nimal, Premakirthi Dalvis, all those big dons, long time ago. Come along. And I was a very young kid in a rural city at that time who benefited immensely from some of those programs.
I have about 2 years less than 50 years knowledge, and I've been knowing Nimal. So in Broadcasting Corporation, we work together. And we worked in studios and transmitters everywhere. And I came to know Nimal at the training institute, and we worked together for a long time. So in the studios, we didn't have facilities like this. We had only old mixers, old cameras, old microphones. Everything is old as far as we concern these things. So with that equipment, we gathered a lot of knowledge and experience, and we gathered all the experience to come to the present stage. So thanks Nimal for bringing the technology up to this state, and thanks Tissa for organizing this event.
Sonali, why don't you say a few words about Sri Lanka Morning Show program and your experience so far? Come along.
It's a pleasure and an honor to be here today. Thank you very much for having me. Since meeting Nimal and Sugita, I've had the most fabulous experience presenting shows on the Sri Lanka Morning Show. And it is from the bottom of my heart that myself and my family who are here today wish both of you, Nimal and Sugita, the very best for a prosperous future. Congratulations on what you have done so far.
You've been watching the celebration of the historic telecast of the 1000th episode of the Sri Lanka Morning Show on Channel 31, which occurred last Sunday, the 27th of November. My congratulations and thanks to the director of the program, Nimal Alvis, and his charming wife Sugita for their commitment and support to the Sri Lankan community in Melbourne. Thanks also to Professor Tissa Wijeratne and Dr. Dilani Wijeratne for hosting the celebration at the AIM. I'm sure that you will join me in wishing the Sri Lanka Morning Show continued success and thousands more episodes in the future. Thanks for being with us. Bye for now.
Abacus Solar, latest and reliable solar systems, world best panels and inverters, price beat guarantee, supervised system installation, excellent after sales service. Call 1300 852 843.
Rosewood Downs Excellence in Aged Care, a modern purpose-built home available in single and double rooms with ensuite and telephone in every room. Contact Ruben and Christine on 9701 3234.
Sanji Caldera Associates. With our headquarters based in Melbourne, Australia, you can locate our branch offices in Sri Lanka, Dubai, Canada and London, UK. Some of our services include skilled migration visa, family migration visa, employer sponsorship visa, temporary resident visa, business visa, tourist visa, student visa, administrative appeals tribunal review. Pursuit of excellence through tailored solutions.
The science of life, traditionally known as the Ayurveda. Consultations, diagnosis and treatments are done by fully qualified Ayurvedic practitioner Dr. Sam Dasanak. Sahandro Ayurvedic Centre, best wellness experience.
The segment that promotes Sri Lankan culture, diversity, nature and heritage is proudly sponsored by Prestige Wardrobe and Shower Screens. We bring you a special segment to promote Sri Lanka. A special thank you to Sandra and Estrid Jackson for providing us with this segment.
Sri Lanka may be a small island in the Indian Ocean, but that's the only thing small about it. The country, formerly known as Ceylon, boasts an ancient civilization, golden sandy beaches with their swaying coconut palms, mountains, and tea plantations. While visiting the island, you'll see colonial architecture from the days when the Portuguese, Dutch, and English ruled. You'll also see lots of elephants, some of which participate in local festivals, and, if you're lucky, perhaps a leopard or two at a wildlife sanctuary. Here's a look at the best places to visit in Sri Lanka. Number 10. Hikkaduwa. The small seaside city of Hikkaduwa is north of Gel, along the southwest coast of Sri Lanka. Well trodden by tourists who are looking for a slice of sand and a chilled out time, the town is packed full of cheap guest houses, tourist shops, and many cafes and restaurants. It may have lost a little of its beauty since the tourists started arriving here in the 1970s, but if you want to spend a few days near the sea, this might be the spot for you.
Hello again, I'm Norleen Hunter and I'm happy to be back here with you in Melbourne. Well, it's the festive season and it's about time for Christmas. The time is for loving, giving and receiving, but above all, we celebrate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. Today we meet Pastor Sam Fernandez, the senior pastor of Living Waters Victoria Worship Centre, who will discuss the most important significance of Christmas. Pastor Sam, it's good to have you with us today. Welcome to the Sri Lanka Morning Show. The first question I have for you, of course, is, people celebrate Christmas in some form or the other, but what is the real significance of Christmas?
Thank you, Noeline. It's great to be here again. I think the most important thing as we celebrate Christmas is we can get so caught up in the symbolism, which is the beautiful trees, the deco, the gifts that we give each other to celebrate and love and to engage in festivities. But it's to remember that when the trees come down and the wrapping paper is thrown away and the gifts are no more, they've lost their novelty, that there is a gift that came, that God became man and dwelt amongst us, that it wasn't just enough to give us a system and a way, that he chose to come and be with us so that we would know his love and we would know him as a person. And that is the celebration of Christmas. It is that we have a hope that God is still with us and he is coming again.
Well, the last few years have been a roller coaster ride, actually, mainly for Sri Lankans, not only Sri Lankans living here, but Sri Lankans who who live in Sri Lanka and are connected by some form or the other here to the family. So, how do you, with all the hardship that is going on in Sri Lanka even at present, how do people really celebrate Christmas?
I think, that's so very important because COVID taught us many things. And I think the current economic crisis in Sri Lanka, it's really taught us that we need answers outside ourselves. We try to control our environment. We try to control things for ourselves. We try to. And we've come to this place where we realize we need a hope outside ourselves. And so Christmas is all the more relevant this year because it is a hope outside ourselves. It's a God that came down, not a God just out there, a God that came down, dwelt amongst us. And this hope is a hope we have every day in our crisis as we find a way forward out of this economic crisis, as we find a way forward from COVID. It's a God that walks with us and gives us a hope, not just a hope for the future, but a hope that our current situations are not the end of us, something outside ourselves.
So what you're saying is that the Lord Jesus Christ is the hope in this crisis?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'd like to find out how the Living Waters Victoria Worship Centre is celebrating Christmas this year.
In church, we have this word we use and we say we're church family. Very often when you hear people in Sri Lanka or people from Sri Lanka describe celebrations, they say Christmas in Australia is not as good as in Sri Lanka. It's just not the same. And I think the main thing that differs is family. We have community there. And so as Living Waters celebrates Christmas, that's what we bring. We're a family. We're a community of believers. So on the 10th of December, on Saturday, at 6 o'clock, we have Christmas carols. So we'll start with some light refreshments at 6 o'clock. 6:30, we'll go into carols. And then at the end of carols, we'll have some further refreshments.
So will the people be joining in the carols as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. The church family and everyone there are welcome to join with us. It's not a celebration if everyone's not singing, right?
Yeah.
And Sri Lankans, we love our song and dance. And so it is, as there's a warm invitation to anyone who wants to join with us, come join with us. We're a family, a community, and we would love to celebrate this Christmas with you.
Actually, is this carol service by invitation only?
No, absolutely not. So we're on Facebook or Instagram. You can register to attend, but registration is more about catering purposes. You're welcome to join us on the day. Even if you have not registered, we'd love to see you there. We also have a Christmas Eve service on the 24th. So this year, Christmas is on a Sunday. So on the 24th night at 10:30, we have a Christmas Eve service, and we have a New Year's service at 10 p.m. on the 31st night as well. So you're welcome to join with us and celebrate this season.
Thank you, Pastor Sam. I'm sure that all our viewers would like to join this Living Waters Church for the carol service. And that's something for us all to look forward to, I'm sure. The Sri Lanka Morning Show is the program that you're on, and Pastor Sam has very kindly joined us today at the Sri Lanka Morning Show. So do try to make it to the Living Waters Victoria Worship Centre at 6 o'clock on Saturday. That's a Saturday the 10th of this month, to be part of the carol service and make this a very special Christmas. Thank you for joining us, and my thanks to our program director, Nimal Alves. Bye for now, and a wonderful Christmas to each and every one of you.
Abacus Solar, latest and reliable solar systems, world best panels and inverters, price beat guarantee, supervised system installation, excellent after sales service. Call 1300 852 843.
Rosewood Downs Excellence in Aged Care, a modern purpose-built home available in single and double rooms with ensuite and telephone in every room. Contact Ruben and Christine on 9701 3234.
Sanji Caldera Associates. With our headquarters based in Melbourne, Australia, you can locate our branch offices in Sri Lanka, Dubai, Canada and London, UK. Some of our services include skilled migration visa, family migration visa, employer sponsorship visa, temporary resident visa, business visa, tourist visa, student visa, administrative appeals tribunal review. Pursuit of excellence through tailored solutions.
The science of life, traditionally known as the Ayurveda. Consultations, diagnosis and treatments are done by fully qualified Ayurvedic practitioner Dr. Sam Dasanak. Sahandro Ayurvedic Center, best wellness experience.
මෙල්බර්න්හි ඇති සංවිධාන අතරින් දීර්ඝ ඉතිහාසයක් ඇති සංවිධානයක් තමයි ස්කැට් සංවිධානය. අද දවසේ අපේ ආරාධනය පිළි අරගෙන මා සමග කතා බහකට එකතු වෙනවා එම සංගමේ සමාජිකින් තිදෙනෙක් වන ගාමිණී පෙරේරා, සේනක පෙරේරා සමග හේමන්ත රෝහිත. අයිබෝවන්. ගාමිණී, මං හිතන්නේ ස්කැට් සංවිධානය කිව්වහම අවුරුදු ගණනාවක ඉතිහාසයක් තියෙන මම හිතන්නේ මෙල්බර්න් වල ඉන්න හැම කෙනෙක්ම දන්න සංවිධානයක්. ඔබ ආරම්භක සභාපතිවරයා හැටියට අපිට පොඩ්ඩක් මතක් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද ස්කැට් සංවිධානයේ ආරම්භය මොන ආකාරයෙන්ද සිද්ධ වුණේ කියලා?
ඔව් සුගිතා, අත්‍තරම මේක පොඩි පසුබිමක් තියෙනවා. මම ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ මහා ශිෂ්‍ය සංගමේ සභාපති වුණේ 1968ත් 69ත් අතර. ඊට පස්සේ මම මුළු ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේම අන්තර් විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ බල මණ්ඩලයේ ප්‍රථම සභාපති වුණා 1969ත් 70ත් අතර. ඉන් අනතුරු ඕස්ට්‍රේලියාවට සංක්‍රමණය වුණාට පස්සේ ඒ අපේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ බල මණ්ඩල හිටිය අපේම හිතවත් අයත් එක්ක තමයි මේ ස්කැට් සංවිධානය මෙල්බර්න් නුවර ආරම්භ කිරීමට අපිට අවස්ථාව ලැබුණේ. ඉතින් එතනදී අපිට මූලික පරමාර්ථයක් හැටියට සඳහන් කරන්න පුළුවන් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවෙන් ඕස්ට්‍රේලියාවට සංක්‍රමණය වුණ ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයන්ට මූලික පරිගණක දැනුමක් ලබා දීමට අපි ප්‍රධාන පරමාර්ථයක් හැටියට සැලකුවා. ඉන් අනතුරු ජොබ් රෙඩි ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් රැකියාවට යාමට සුදුසුකම් ලැබීමේ වාතාවරණය සකස් කිරීමටත් අපි සංවිධානය කෙරුවා. ඊට පස්සේ ප්‍රථම ස්කැට් සංවිධානයේ ශාඛාව 1995 ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ BMICH එකේ හිටපු අගමැති ශ්‍රීමා වඩනායක මැතිණියගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් තමයි පටන් ගත්තේ. ඊට පස්සේ 1997 අපි මාපිය කැපකරු ශිෂ්‍යත්ව ක්‍රමය පටන් ගත්තා. නොදියුණු ගම්මානවල දරුවන්ට අධ්‍යාපන ලබා දීමේ වැඩපිළිවෙල. ඊට පස්සේ 1997ම අපිට පුළුවන් වුණා ප්‍රථම පරිගණක පුහුණු කිරීමේ මධ්‍යස්ථානය දැනට වර්තමාන අධ්‍යාපන ඇමති සුසිල් ප්‍රේමජයන්ත මහත්මයාගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් පවත්වන්න. ඉන් අනතුරුව 1998 ලේඩි රිජ්ජි හොස්පිටල් ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකක් අපි පටන් ගත්තා. ඉන් අනතුරුව 2007 දී අපිට පුළුවන් වුණා සුනාමි ව්‍යසනයෙන් අවතැන් වුණු ඇයට ශ්‍රී ලංකා ඕස්ට්‍රේලියා මිත්‍රත්ව ගම්මානය ආරම්භ කරන්න ඕස්ට්‍රේලියාවේ තානාපති ඉවක තානාපති ආචාර්ය ග්‍රෙග් ෆ්‍රෙන්ච් මහතාගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන්. ඒක තමයි මූලිකම වැඩ කටයුතු ඒ කාලේ අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන්.
සේනක ඇත්තරම ඔබ සභාපති වෙලා හිටියයි වගේම තවත් අනතුරු කීපයක් හොබවපු කෙනෙක්. මේ වෙනකොට ඔබගෙන් මොකද්ද කෙරෙන සේවාව සංවිධානයේට?
ඔව් සුගිතා, මම මෙල්බර්න් නුවරට ආවේ වසර 2000 දී. වසර 2001 දී මම ස්කැට් සංවිධානයට සම්බන්ධ වුණා. ඉතින් ඒ කාලේ අතරතුර ස්කැට් සංවිධානයේ බොහෝ කලා ව්‍යාපෘතීන් පටන් ගත්තා. මේවා අතර මට මූලිකව කියන්න ඕන කෙටි නාට්‍ය උළෙල, කෙටි චිත්‍රපටි උළෙල වගේ දේවල්. එතකොට මේ වලින් අපි ඇත්තටම කළේ මෙහි ඉන්න මේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා ප්‍රජාවේ ඉන්න නාට්‍ය වලට ඒ වගේම චිත්‍රපටි වලට නිෂ්පාදනයන්ට කැමති අයට අවස්ථාවක් ලබා දෙන්න, ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ හැකියාවන් පෙන්වන්න, ඒ වගේම ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ හැකියාවන් ප්‍රගුණ කරන්න. ඉතින් මේ අතර අපිට පුළුවන් වුණා මේ ප්‍රජාව ඇතුළේ මේ හැකියාවන් තියෙන බොහෝ දෙනෙක් හඳුනා ගන්න. ඉතින් ඒ අනුව තමයි අවසානයේ අපි 2005 දී මහාසාර නාට්‍ය මෙල්බර්න් නුවරම නිෂ්පාදනය කරලා වේදිකා ගත කළේ. ඊට අමතරව අපි කරපු තවත් ලොකු ව්‍යාපෘතියක් විදිහට කලා ව්‍යාපෘතියක් විදිහට මට කියන්න පුළුවන් 18 සන්නිය සහ තොইলය. ඇත්තටම මේක මේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවෙන් පිට ප්‍රථම වතාවට 18 සන්නිය රඟ දැක්ුවේ මෙල්බර්න් නුවර ස්කැට් සංවිධානයේ මාර්ගයෙන්. ඊට අමතරව අපි චිත්‍රපටි බොහෝමයක් පෙන්ලා තියෙනවා. නොයෙකුත් කලාකරුවන් සමග ප්‍රසංග පවත්වලා තියෙනවා. මේ අතර අපි මේ කාලය ඇතුළත අවුරුදු 2000න් පස්සේ අර ගාමිණී සඳහන් කළා වගේ ලේඩි රිජ්වේ ළමා රෝහලට උපකරණ ලබා දීම ඒකත් අපි දිගටම කරගෙන ගියා. සුනාමි නිවාස ව්‍යාපෘතිය කරා. නොයෙකුත් අවස්ථාවලදී ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ගම් වතුරෙන් වගේ දේවල් වලින් එෆෙක්ට් වෙච්ච අයට අපි සහන් ලබා දීලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම Lion Sight First Hospital හැදලා තියෙන Lion Sight First Hospital එකට අපි ආදර ලබා දෙන්නත් මේකෙන් පටන් ගත්තා. ඉතින් මේවත් එක්කම අපි අර මුලින් පටන් ගත්ත සිසු සවිය, ඒ වගේම තරුණීන් සඳහා වැඩ කටයුතු, VC රිවිෂන් ක්ලාසස්, වැඩිහිටියන් සඳහා ව්‍යාපෘති දිගටම කරගෙන ගියා. 10වෙනි සංවත්සරය 2002 දී මගේ සභාපතිත්වයේ යටතේ 2007 දී අපි 15 වෙනි සංවත්සරය පැවැත්වුවා. එහිදී තමයි 18 සන්නිය පෙන්වන්න අපිට පුළුවන්කම ලැබුණේ. ඒක මේ මෑතකදී අපි 30 වෙනි සංවත්සරයත් සැමරුවා.
දැන් හේමන්තගෙන් අපි ඇහුවොත් ඔබ වර්තමාන සභාපති හැටියට මම හිතන්නේ තාමත් බාහිර දූර කාර්යයක් ඔබට ලැබිලා තියෙන්නේ.
මම ස්කැට් සංවිධානයට මේ සම්බන්ධ වෙලා අවුරුදු 17ක් විතර යනවා දැන්. ඉතින් මම හුඟක්ම ඉම්ප්‍රෙස් වුණා ස්කැට් සංවිධානයෙන් වෙන හොඳ දේවල් ගැන. එපාර මම හුඟක් කිට්ටියෙන් වැඩ කරා. ඊට පස්සේ මම ටෙක්නොලොජි කමිටි එකේ චෙයාපර්සන් විදිහට වැඩ කරා ගොඩක් කල්. ඒකෙදී මම ටෙක්නොලොජි සෙමිනාර්ස් තිබ්බා, ඉනෝවේෂන් සෙමිනාර්ස් තිබ්බා. එතකොට ඒ කියන්නේ අපේ කට්ටියගේ තියෙන සිතුවිලි වැඩි දියුණු කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මම කියනවනම් දැන් අපි දැනටම කරගෙන යනවා සිසු සභිය කෙනෙක්. හුඟක්ම සාර්ථක විදිහට කරගෙන යනවා. ඒ ඈත පළාත්වල ඒ කියන්නේ disadvantaged families ඒගොල්ලන් ඒ ළමයි ඉන්නවා ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒගොල්ලන්ට අවස්ථාව නැහැ. ඉතින් අපි ස්කෝලර්ෂිප් ස්කීම් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක ඒගොල්ලන්ට උදව් කරන ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඒක දැනටත් හොඳට කරගෙන යනවා. ඒ පටන් ගත්තේ මේ අපේ ගාමිණී මහත්මිය තමයි ඉස්සෙල්ලම පටන් ගත්තේ. ඒ අතරම මේ අපි මේ ලංකාවේ ෆ්ලඩ්ස් වලට ඇහුවෙලා ඉස්කෝල විනාශ වුණාම අපි එකතු වෙලා ඒවා හදලා තියෙනවා. ඒවා හදලා මොඩර්නයිස් කරලා තියෙනවා. දැනට අලුතෙන් රූම්ස් දාලා most modern techniques අපි දීලා තියෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ during the pandemic අපි අපි මේ අපේ ප්‍රජාවට health information අපි දුන්නා Zoom තාක්ෂණය මගින් ඒකම අපිට බලන් වුණා youth leadership program එකක් Zoom technique එකෙන් අපිට දෙන්නේ. එතකොට අපි multi faith and multicultural events අපිට පුළුවන් වුණා කරන්න bringing people together, societies together. එතකොට අපිට මේ English speech training in rural schools පටන් ගත්තා. ඒක දැන් හොඳට කරගෙන යනවා. ඈත පළාත්වල ළමයින්ට හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ ඉංග්‍රීසි පුහුණු වෙන්න කතා කරන්න. දැන් කම්පියුටර්ස් නැති ඉස්කෝල වලට අපි කම්පියුටර්ස් අපි ලබා දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. දැන් අපි වැඩ කරන ඒ ඉස්කෝලේ මේ වැලිමඩ ඉතින් ඒකේ ඒ ළමයි හරි උනන්දුවෙන් අපිත් එක්ක Zoom එකෙන් කතා කරනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ අවස්ථාව දෙනවා public speaking වලට. ඉතින් මේක හරිම වැදගත් එකක් මම හිතන්නේ අපි ඉස්සරහටත් ඒක දිනුවට ගෙනියන්න ඕන. ඉතින් මේ තව එකක් තියෙනවා අපි SCAT seniors west and east both Egoland we are providing the welfare for them and to have a great time and then have good health good mental health as well. එතකොට මේ තව එකක් කියන්න ඕන හුඟක්ම වැදගත් එකක් දැන් මේ 30th anniversary එකේ අපිට මේ අපේ ගාමිණී මහත්මයා පටන් ගත්තේ මේක. එයා පටන් ගත්ත දවසේ ඉඳලම මේ ලෝකෙට ලංකාවට ඕස්ට්‍රේලියාවට විශාල සේවයක් ඇදලා තියෙනවා. ඒම කරන්න පුළුවන් උනේ එයාගේ දුරදක්න නුවණින්. ඒ දවසේම පටන් ගත්තා ඒක ඒ පටන් ගත්ත දවසේ ළම එයා පිටිපස්සෙන් හිටියා මේක. ඉතින් ඒකින්ද තමයි මේ ඔක්කොම සේවයන් කරගන්න පුළුවන් උනේ අපිට අපි ගාමිණී මහත්මයාට හරිම ණයගැති හැමදෙනාම අපි එයාට උපහාර ප්‍රදර්ශනයක් උපහාර උත්සවයක් තිබුණා 30th anniversary. ඒක තමයි මම කරලා තියෙන හොඳම වැඩේ මට හිතෙන්නේ. මට හුඟක්ම හැමදෙනාම ස්කැට් සංගමේ හැමදෙනාම එක්කෙනා වගේ ඒකට උදව් කරා. ඉතින් ඒකේ උත්කර්ෂවත් මේ උපහාර වල ගාමිණී මහත්මයාට අපි තෑග්ගක් දුන්නා. ඒ තෑග්ගක් දුන්නේ එයාට අවශ්‍ය වුණේ අපේ මේ දැනට තියෙන මේ එක්සිකියුටිව් සංගමේ පින්තූරයක්. ඉතින් ඒකයි අපි ඔක්කොම හැම කෙනාම ලියපු මෙසේජස් දාලා අපි දුන්නා. ඒක දුන්නේ අපි වික්ටෝරියන් ප්‍රීමියර් රෙප්‍රසෙන්ට් කරන අපු ස්ටීව් මෙගී මහත්මයා.
හේමන්තගෙන් අපි දැනගත්තා පසුගිය දවස්වල තිබුණ 30 වෙනි සංවත්සරයෙන් ඔබට ඉතාමත් වටිනා අවස්ථාවක් ලබා දුන්නයි දවසේ ඔබ මුල්ම සභාපති හැටියට. දැන් ඉදිරියේදී මොනවද සංවිධානයෙන් කෙරෙන වැඩ කටයුතු?
ඔව් සුගිතා බොහොම වැදගත් ප්‍රශ්නයක්. අපි මෙතෙක්කල් අවුරුදු 30ක ගමන්මග අපිට වෙනස් කරන්න වෙලා තියෙනවා. අපේ මූලික පරමාර්ථය තමයි ස්කැට්ස් මල්ටිකල්චර් සෙන්ටර් එකක් මෙල්බර්න් වල පටන් ගන්න. ඒකට අපි අපේ අලුත් සමාජිකත්වයක් ගොඩනැගීමට අපි අදහස් කරුවා. ඒකට වෙනම අපි අනු කමිටියක් පත් කළා. අනු කමිටියේ සභාපති හැටියට අපේ ජ්‍යෙෂ්ඨ නීතිඥ සිරි බණ්ඩාර මහත්මයා පත් කළා තියෙනවා. ඒ කමිටියෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන අලුත් මෙම්බර්ස්ලා ප්‍රොමෝට් කරන්න පුළුවන් තරම්. ඒකේ මූලික අධිතානමක් හැටියට 2030 වෙනි සංවත්සරයේම අපිට ගෝල්ඩ් මෙම්බර්ෂිප් 3ක් හම්බුණා $1000 ගානේ. ඊට පස්සේ $100 ගානේ ලයිෆ් මෙම්බර්ෂිප්, ඊට පස්සේ $20 ගානේ මාසික අවුරුද්දකට තියෙන මෙම්බර්ෂිප් එක. ඒකම ඒ බිල්ඩින් ෆන්ඩ් ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකක්. ඒ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් එකේ අනු කමිටියක් අපි පත් කරුවා. අර මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්වාගේ මල්ටිකල්චරල් සෙන්ටර් එකක් නිසා අපි සම්බන්ධ කරගත්ත කලිල් කාදර් CPA එයා තමයි ලේකම් අස්ලා ඕස්ට්‍රේලියා ශ්‍රී ලංකා ඇසෝසියේෂන් එකේ. එයයි එතකම අනිත් මල්ටිකල්චර් කමිටු සම්බන්ධ කර මේ කමිටිය ඉතාමත් සාර්ථකව අලුත් මෙම්බර්ස්ලා පත් කරගෙන මේ වැඩ පිළිවෙල කිරීමට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඒකම මේකට තවත් විශේෂ පුද්ගලික සම්බන්ධ ඩොමික් බැනිස්ටර්. එයා තමයි ප්‍රයිම් චොයිස් ආයතනයේ අධිපති ඒක මෙයා ඩෙවලොපර් කෙනෙක්. එයාත් කැමති අපේ මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිට සම්බන්ධ වෙලා මේක සාර්ථක කිරීමට උදව් කරන්න.
හොඳයි ගාමිණී, ඇත්තටම මං හිතන්නේ පසු මේ වසර 30ක අතීතයත් එක්කම මං හිතන්නේ මේ සංවිධානය තව ඉදිරියට යන්න කියලා මම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. අද දවසේ ඇවිල්ලා මෙල්බන් ප්‍රේක්ෂකයන් දැනුවත් කිරීම ගැන ඔබ ස්කැට් සංවිධානයේ ව්‍යාපෘති ගැනත් පසුගිය කාලයේ සිදු වුණු ව්‍යාපෘති ගැනත් මම ඔබ තිදෙනාටම බෙහෙවින්ම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
There's no better place on earth. Yeah, I dream of you, Sri Lanka. Yeah, I pray for you, Sri Lanka. My hopes are